Good morning, everybody. So today I wanted to bring you a before you buy. So I bought this car, I believe September 3rd, 2021. Yeah, September 3rd, 2021. So I've had the car for 2 years, 2022, 2023. Yeah, 2 years I've had this car. All right. So something I was not aware of when I bought this car, I just found out. Being that this is a 2021 model, I thought I was done with all the old, Ford bugs. I got it cleaned up the other day. She looked real good, except for that little oil speck right there. But I thought I got rid of all the old Ford bugs, right? Well, no. Some of the old bugs and defects the older Mustangs had was water leaks. And these are no exception. So before you buy a 2015 through 2023, make sure you know where your water leaks can pop up at, because that might be a deal breaker for someone. If it's going to leak water, they don't want it. So one place your car can actually leak water, which I did not know, is right back here. Let me get y'all a better view. Right there. This is just tape. It's tape that's covering a hole, and as you can see, it's shriveled up, right? So water can get back behind there and get into your car. As you can see, there's more right here. These can wear out. Excuse me. Yeah, these can wear out over time and water come in. There's another one right up top. Focus the camera here. There we go. You see how it's shriveled? Luckily, I do not have water coming in there yet. But it rained real hard about a week or two ago. And I got in my car and I drove home. I drove to work. Came back. Got home. Sat over the weekend. Got back in it to go to work. Noticed it smelled like mildew. From here back was soaking wet. It's a little dirt. I had to take the floor mats and stuff out to let it dry. Slopping wet, like you could flick it, you could feel it, you could hear it. I thought I had water leaking down right through here somewhere and pooling right down the side into my car. So it's a real simple deal. This right here, you can just pull on it, tug on it, and it pops right out. Same as this. To get this all the way off, there's a little cover right here. You have to pull it. And when you pull that, there's a little cylinder in there with two little prongs on the side, and you got to pinch them together at the same time to actually be able to remove this handle. When you remove that handle, this whole piece can slide off, but it's going to slide down from here, all right? I lifted up the carpet and it was moist. So it was obvious I had a water leak. I could not find my water leak, all right? I showed you the first place where the water leak comes from. I have pinpointed the location, but have not found the exact area of your other possible water leak. I know its whereabouts. So if you pop your hood, and no, it's not the windshield. I got curious. Back here is styrofoam. There's a styrofoam matting or plating back under this carpet, which is why this wasn't wet. The water is actually running from somewhere back up here, somewhere back here, down, because it's coming down right through here. And then it's just running all the way back because the car slopes and it pulls right in here. How do I know? When I pull up the carpet and lift it up, I could feel that was getting more moist up this way. And then my floor is actually starting to rust right in here. There's a spot where the water had been pooling and it started to rust. So it's been leaking for a long time. I had no idea. So every time it was raining, anytime I took it through the car wash or washed the car, at some point it started filling up with water, because it wasn't always like that, because I didn't always smell mildew. This was a very heavy mildewy smell. Like you couldn't miss it. So when I realized that, I decided to figure it out. I had popped the hood. I had got my wife's help. We took the water hose, sprayed water all along through here, right? It ain't the windshield. I watched the water. One second. I watched the water run, and as it began to fall down here, back in here, and pull right in this corner, I watched as it would run down over this way. So somewhere here in my firewall, back up in the engine, wherever all my grommets and stuff are sitting, when the water runs down the firewall, there's a leak, a hole, probably a grommet similar to this that ain't being sealed properly, and water is leaking through. So if you've noticed your Mustang is filling up with water on the driver's side and you cannot pinpoint the area, it's going to be somewhere in here against your firewall. That may not tell you much, but it tells you enough to know, hey, okay, so it's leaking somewhere in the firewall if it's not leaking over here. And the same thing on the passenger side. Them same stickers are on this side as well. Also, if there's another grommet that's actually kind of tucked back here and hidden. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. It's like right in the center of the camera, honestly. Right under this, that piece right there. Back there, there's another grommet. But this grommet is actually a little water spout. And that little water spout drains the water from here. So I think the water coming from the spout right back here is real hard to see, but it's there because it was on the 05s. It's draining over the area where it's leaking. In that general area, I just don't know exactly what's causing the leak. So I called Ford. I didn't get an answer. I left a voicemail. They didn't answer back. My car is still under warranty. Tomorrow's Monday. I'm going to call them again and see if I can get it in. Because honestly, I think the engine is most likely going to have to come out or get dropped some for them to patch that leak. Like when I found out my car was leaking water, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly low-key wanted to just go and trade this mug out for a Supra. Because we all know that when you go to Toyota and all them, the quality, the building of the vehicle is better. The performance may not be better than the American Muscle, but the quality is better. And that Supra ain't too far behind this Mustang. But then I'm gonna be paying that Supra price. So, you know, to each his own. Sorry about that, guys. I live right by the train tracks. I wanted to let that train go by some more. But if you couldn't hear me, I was saying when I found out this car was leaking water and it's a 2021 model, and I found out it's having the same issues from an 05 model, you know, Ford really disappointed me there. The fact that I got them pieces of tape on the side fender, on the inner fenders on both sides, to me, I felt like they really just cheaped out. Like, there wasn't a better way to plug that hole with the better plug, but no, y'all used cheap tape. And now my floorboard has been filling up with water, and I just happened to catch it because, you know, it smelled like mildew. And I've always had scents in my car, so I guess it was fading most of it, and I never caught it. And then once my scents ran out, because I didn't get no more, it really just, I mean, it hit me hard, guys. So it had been filling up with water for a minute. Now, granted, I'm lucky. I've only had the car for 2 years, and it wasn't doing it, I don't think, the whole 2 years, because it is minimal surface rust, but it does have the glue coming up because the rust is getting under the glue, causing it to separate. So very, very light sandpaper, you know, hit, prime, a little bit of paint. She's good. I do feel like this would be a simple fix. I really do. But I made this channel to be all about Mustang content, and bring information to y'all that y'all don't know. And one thing I did not know is that these cars leak water, and that's what this video is about today. I haven't had any other content because honestly, guys, I haven't had anything to talk about. I haven't bought my first mods. I haven't done anything like that because I'm not sure where I want to go with this platform. I love the Mustang, but you can probably see it from here. I got a nasty chip right there in the roof. The paint here on this model was very, very brittle. I was on the highway and someone was driving and they kicked a rock out on the highway, hit me in my quarter panel. My panel back here was dented, I believe, from someone leaning against my car, and it got rippled when it was being pulled. I had a door get dropped on my car right here on the fender. I guess all minor, easy stuff to fix. I'm just in that mindset of it's a brand new car. I shouldn't be fixing anything. My cousin did donuts on his Banshee and flung rocks all into the side of my car. My daughter thought it would be funny the other day to take a rock and throw it at my car. Let's see here. So you can already see the dent in the chip. She thought it would be funny to throw a rock at it. Some lady cut me off. I picked up some kind of 2x4 and it ate the paint off the edge of my wheel well. Pretty good. All the way down. So I mean, it's a bunch of just minor little fixes, and I'm just like, with this being a type of candy or pearl, either, what I'm saying is this ain't no simple metallic paint job. I had to paint this color, or help my painter, excuse me, let me correct it, help my painter paint this color on a Ford truck, and this color was an absolute nightmare to try and match. Now granted, it could have been an issue on his end, and I do believe so, because when we noticed the paint was wigging out, I told him, sand it all the way down to bare steel and feather it out. So that way, whatever contamination is on this truck, we eliminate for sure. He said, I don't want to do that because if it's just a light sand, I don't want to have to repaint that much of the area. I'm like, it's better to do it than to repaint it several times. We ended up doing that truck about 7 times before we actually finally got whatever was on that panel to stop wigging out. And even then the color didn't match. Because when they would mix the colors, they'd be off a little bit on each and every other little pour, which he's like, it won't change that much. But when it comes to mixing paint, the slightest difference, 0.2, 0.3, every other little additive you have, it'll make a difference. You gotta be spot on when mixing that paint. So with that being said, it's going to be pricey to fix the paint like no other. I already know. And to pull all the dents. Love the car. Love the platform. Amazing performance. Amazing handling. It's just, I'm going to be honest with you guys. At heart, I'm a JDM cat. I love my JDMs. I love the Eclipse. I love the Skyline. I love the Supra. I love Mitsubishi. I love their Evo. I love Nissan's 350Z, their 370Z. I'm a JDM guy. I always have been. I just happened to get a Mustang when I got my 05 because it was the cheapest car I could find after I lost my JDM car around that was a manual. And then when my 05 started messing up and COVID had hit and all the parts were on back order, I decided to get another Mustang since I knew the platform. I knew it would be easy to work on, etc., etc. Like I said, all this is minor. But the issue I have with trying to fix this rear quarter is on the older Mustangs. If you had an S197 body, you couldn't just press on it. I don't want to dent it, but you can see it, this whole panel easily flexes. Look at the reflection right here with the trees. That's the panel. I'm not moving the phone. That whole panel flexes so easy that if you put enough pressure on it, you can dent that whole area. So either someone had got mad and they came by and hit my car like that, or they leaned on it. I thought someone hit it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's from someone leaning. And what happened is when I pulled it, it was all good and dandy. On the last pull, one of the pull tabs got stuck really good. I couldn't get it off, so I yanked it off, and I ended up over pulling the metal. So then I tried to use my body hammer, tap it back down. I am inexperienced at glue pull. I did a very good job at first, but because I was inexperienced, I didn't know to use alcohol and spray it on there to make the glue release. So I yanked it off and I overpulled the panel and I have a real high spot. I then tried to tap it back down, got too rough with the tap, and put a very defiant indentation in that panel. The phone couldn't pick it up, but walking by it, you can definitely see it. It sticks out like a sore thumb. It bugs me every time I see it. So, I mean, those are minor fixes, and I'm contemplating on fixing them, but at the same time, like I said, I just want to figure out what route I'm going to go with this, if I'm going to keep it, or if I'm going to get a Supra. Honestly, as upset as I am with Ford with this water leak, I've seen a very nice 2024 Mustang, metallic gray with the bronze pony and the bronze wheels, and oh my gosh, it was beautiful. So I might even possibly go for the newer model, guys. I want my drift ready handbrake, all that, kind of saving me a lot of trouble. I've really grown to love Mustangs. Mustang really got me into American muscle. I am upset, but it is so easy to make power with these cars. And I can't say the same for the Supra simply because BMW worked on Toyota with it. So if I get the Supra, I'm wanting to know, am I going to be paying for BMW maintenance and labor or Toyota maintenance and labor? Because there's a big difference, because I've owned a BMW and they are insanely pricey. Plus, anything you really want to do to that engine, the timing chain and everything is actually back up against the firewall. So any major modifications where you're going to have to adjust the timing, that engine is going to have to be dropped. Not something I really want to deal with in the Supra. But I know when it comes to quality of like Dodge, the Charger, the Challenger, Fords, Mustang, Chevys, Camaro, the quality look good, but I can't say the quality is there to last. You really got to put in the work to make it do that. But I could be wrong, but if I do keep this car, we'll be getting it crowned, protected from rust. It's up in the air, but I just want y'all to know before you buy, these cars do leak water. I don't know if that's a deal breaker for y'all or if it's something you want to go through, because I got to pinpoint exactly where that leak is, and I haven't found it yet. But that's all I got for y'all today. Oh, speaking of which, I posted on my comments I had track footage coming soon. I've been going to the track. The only reason you guys didn't get the footage is my biggest apologies. I did not have no one to record for me. The person I was going to have record was my wife. She opted out on me. She decided she didn't want to go. She doesn't want nothing to do with and I'm not throwing shade at her. She just doesn't want anything to do with the channel or be involved. She doesn't want to be on video. That's all. And there's nothing wrong with that. There isn't. It's just now I need to find someone who's willing to record. My two best friends, they work on the road, so they're never in town when I go to the track. So whenever I go, I might have to have someone who's willing to tag along, record me on my times, because they're not going to let me go down the track and record at the same time on my phone. I do have a GoPro. You can see the GoPro mount. The issue is anytime I put footage on my GoPro, if it's like a 7 or 8 minute video, it splits it up into 3, 4, 5 videos because it makes it like a minute. The video is a minute, 2, 3 minutes a piece, and I don't know how to group them back together. I bought the GoPro specifically for the channel, specifically for the cars, and I don't know anyone that can teach me how to use it, and I haven't learned. I've tried all these YouTube tutorials, and for some reason, I just can't get exactly the information I need on mine. But just before you buy again, these cars leak water. I've showed you where. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, help the channel out. I could be doing more Mustang content in the near future. It could be Supra. I don't know. Those are the only two cars I'm interested in as of now, is the Mustang and the Supra. Because I'm not going to, unless I luck out and I find an R34 Skyline for cheap or A80 Toyota Supra for cheap, Mustang or new Supra. And it's most likely going to be another Stang. I'm just letting y'all know. But your boy's signing out from here. Y'all have a good evening.